And welcome back to another episode of Life in Prison. As always, my name is Zach. So, unfortunately, I spent 5 years of my life in maximum security prison. Since getting out, I went and got my medical degree, and I'm currently working at an urgent care helping others who unfortunately cannot help themselves. So what I do is tell stories about my life in prison along with getting out, and I also do video chats with inmates still locked up in prison for murder, for drug charges, for robbery, just showing you a first-hand look what it's actually like living life in prison. So if you haven't already done it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification button so you're first informed when I upload. And make sure you give this video a like if you go ahead and enjoy it. So today what we're going to be talking about is snitching in prison. Where can you hide? So many of us have seen people out here on the streets turn informant, turn snitch, and it's a little bit easier running around and hiding out here on the streets. But unfortunately, if you are incarcerated, there's only so many places that you can hide if unfortunately you do decide to turn state witness. So every prison is different. As I've been saying in all my videos, West Coast is completely different than East Coast, but we all have the same thing in common. We're all inmates, right? The problem is certain prisons have capability of housing, how can I say it, protective custody individuals. People that are snitches, informant, state informant, or chomos, child molesters. West Virginia State Prison, where I was at, maximum security, Mount Olive in Huttonsville, they do not have a protective custody. So if you are a rat, then you are either going to be on the yard or in the hole. So what normally happens with people that snitch, right, and they get found out, they normally end up going and piecing in the hole. So what they'll do is an assortment of things, either write a kite to an administration saying, hey, I either did this or I fear for my life. The only way that you're going to get put in PC in West Virginia State is if you give up a name, and it has to be a legitimate reason for them to send you back in the hole, because they don't just want random people sitting in the hole for no reason when they could have people that are actually getting in trouble doing things go in that cell. What will happen a lot of the time is you'll see a lot of these gang members that turn snitch. And the reason being is because of this. Most people that join an organization or gang, however you want to call it, they really don't know what they're getting into. Do you get what I'm saying? Because this is how you want to look at it. Back when these gangs first started, it was more or less the unity, the fellowship, the brotherhood of an area, right? Neighborhoods. That's pretty much how gangs originated, especially out in the West Coast, Crips and the Bloods. It was a territorial thing. It was a neighborhood thing, right? Now it's been watered down. The reason why people join these gangs and organizations, it's not for the brotherhood anymore. It's because of they might be able to get money or get drugs, right? Especially in prison. That's mainly where people join for the wrong reasons. And what happens is, when it's time to put in work, right? That's when the real are separated from the weak and the fake. Whenever someone's handed a knife and told, go do this, and if not, you're up next, right? What'll happen is they check in. They take the knife to administration and be like, hey, look, man, they're telling me to do this stuff. I didn't sign up for this. I thought I was just going to be able to eat a good meal on the weekends all the time. I didn't know all this bullshit was involved. I'm getting out of here. That's when you really realize who's real and who's fake. A lot of frauds on YouTube that portray some character, fictional character that they saw on TV or something they made up in their mind. Prison's exactly the same type of way. You have a lot of individuals who think that they have to be, or who think that they are this person, but when it boils down to it, they're the one checking in and going to the hole. Say there's 2 or 3 individuals that are sent to go do something, right? Say me and you, right? We have to go do something. Say we go and do it. Say the individual that whatever happened to gets really, really hurt. They lock the whole prison down. They start connecting the pieces, right? They come to you and is like, hey, look, we know you did this. You're going to get 50 extra years unless you tell us what's going on. In actuality, knowing they're really not going to give you that time, but they're saying that to scare you into releasing information so they can figure out what's going on, right? Now you turn state witness. People going doing something, one person would end up getting wet feet, cold, scared, whatever it may be, and they end up turning people in. At the end of the day, this is why I want you to sit back and realize, if you cannot handle going off and beating somebody up or going off and stabbing somebody, then do not get involved, because that's exactly where that road is going to take you. I can promise you that. You have different types of people in an organization, right? You got the soldiers, the bodies, right? Then you're going to have the thinkers, the doers, the ones that are going to be sitting back and thinking, how are we going to get through this, right? Without getting locked up and sent to the hole. Because to run a lucrative, right? To run a long-going organization, you need to have people out on the yard. Having everybody in the hole, there's no structure back there. You can't do anything. You can't, it's harder to make shots in the hole than it is on the yard. So why would you want to be sitting in the hole? Unfortunately, the ones that do not want to hit the yard, you'll know. But a lot of the times you'll have people that are only being a part of something just to be the fall guy, right? If you got a brotherhood, right, and people come to you like, here, and they hand you a butt ton of knives, right? Or a bunch of hooch and like, here, just put this in your cell. Why aren't they putting it in their cell? So now when you get hit with all these knives and all this wine, what are you going to do? Are you going to take the fall for everyone else while they're still out there in the yard enjoying their time while you take the hit? And guess what? When you're back there, they're not going to send you anything. So now you're sitting back there all by your lonesome for a year or so just because you got caught with a bunch of weapons and they don't look out for you. Those are the times when people end up turning over on their gang because their gang does not look out for them. They leave them high and dry holding the bag. At the end of the day, they don't profit from it, so they're going to cut ties. I've seen a lot of individuals end up turning state witness just because of that. They get stuck holding the bag at the end of the day, getting stuff sent in from the mail just because old boy told him to do it. And guess what? Now he's the one that's biting the bullet. This is what I want people to think about. Obviously, don't do anything to get locked up in the first place. That's the only reason why I do these videos, to show you at the end of the day what it's like living life in prison. You can shoot guns, you can sell dope, you can steal cars, right? At the end of the day, this is exactly where it's going to get you, in 7x12, and no one's going to be there with you. You are going to be on your own. The ones that call you their brother or their comrades, they're not really there for you. I can promise you that. So once you're on this list, you're pretty much hit. So now wherever you go from prison, that list is going to follow you. So if you're a known rat in a gang, that list is going to follow you. As I said before, prison is worse than high school. Even though there's no cell phones, information gets passed around faster than what you can really think. So if you snitch and go from one prison to another, time is going to tell, and it's going to follow you wherever you go. Now, this video is for educational purposes only. I do not glorify prison or glorify any types of crimes. What I want to do is try to prevent others from going down the same paths that a lot of us other YouTubers, prison content creators, have went down. We all have a different story, and we all have plenty of different charges. No one did the same thing and went to the same prison, but we all have the same type of outcome. We've gotten out, became successful within our own lives, and now trying to help and prevent others from going down the same path. If you stay away from the drama and all the bullshit, then you won't have to ever be put in that position where you might have to snitch. I can tell you, I can promise you, just because certain people get away with it, it does not make it right, especially in the street's eyes. Now, to the normal civilian that is not gang affiliated, snitching is normal. And it's not snitching, it's more or less, it's just telling the truth. If they see a crime, they're going to report it, as they should, as any civilian should. But whenever you cross that line and you join some prison organization or just some gang in general, right? Doing stuff like that is technically in the rule books forbidden. As I said before, I do not condone any crimes or any violence, and I just wanted to show you a short glimpse of what can happen if you snitch in prison, because I can promise you there is nowhere to hide. You can run from another prison. The cat's always going to chase the mouse, and the mouse is always going to get ate. Today was just a short video on snitching, what's going to happen. So, as always, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell notification button so you're first informed when I upload. I hope everyone has a happy holiday season. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's to all. I hope to keep bringing you guys more content as the years to come. As always, thank you so much for the support throughout this whole year. I've been going on a journey and you guys have been following along, and I greatly appreciate everyone's support. So guys, as always, I send my utmost love, loyalty, respect. Keep your head up, stay pushing positive, and don't forget to come back for more heat. I'm gone.